Hi, I'm Symphoneers, and today we're taking a look at Mono Blue Delver in Standard. It's a deck that pleasantly surprised me with a, 8-0 starting run, which you know what that means. Tier 1, S-tier deck, undefeatable. How have they not banned Delver in Standard? Wow! No, 8 games, clearly not a, especially thorough sample size, but it was good enough that I was like, hey, fun deck to do a video on. I know this is the type of deck a lot of folks enjoy playing. I think the kind of productive way to talk about this deck for the deck tech is to talk about what enables this unique deck structure. So the kind of critical cards from Eldraine that actually make this deck work, or like the critical card, is Sleight of Hand. Why? Because it lets us do Turbo or Xerox deck building theory, which is to say, Turbo or Xerox in deck building refers to whenever you have a ton of usually 1 mana spells, occasionally 2 mana spells that just draw a card or kind of replace themselves, and it says that, like, hey, if you play, a full playset of 4, you can cut a land. If you do that a couple times, you can cut a couple lands. And additionally, that kind of deck thinning or redundancy of cantripping also kind of acts as additional card counts of the other cards in the deck, so that even though we're only running, 4 counter spells in Spell Pierce and Make Disappear, it feels more like we're running, 6 or 8, because we do have 12 things at 1 mana that cantrip. Consider Sleight of Hand and Timely Interference is purely in the deck for its cantripping. It can be a little bit awkward sometimes, even if your opponent isn't playing out creatures. Don't be afraid to just target one of your own things with it. It's fine, don't worry about it. Additionally, aside from that stuff, we are running a playset of elusive otters. Prowess threats really like kind of turbo Xerox decks because you're casting so many spells, you get to trigger prowess really reliably, and the deck structure also helps support Ledger Shredder. We get to connive very frequently, which helps further lean into the kind of extreme card selection element of a Turbo or Xerox deck. All of that stuff also helps support Delver of Secrets, because Delver, of course, you shouldn't run Delver unless you can hit like 25 instants or sorceries in your list. Any less than that, and it is not strictly incorrect to run, but it gets a lot weaker. 25 is kind of the floor of, like, it will flip really reliably within 2 turns. All of the land cutting that we get to do because of all of our cantrips helps support Delver, helps get the instants and sorceries count up for Delver, and yeah, helps stuff work. Aside from that, very standard threat in blue in Tolarian Terror, just as we throw things into the graveyard or like cantrip through our deck, gets the casting cost way down, and then we have some stuff to kind of back up all of that. The counter spells to protect things, a bunch of slip out the backs, and shore-ups to protect things as well. Shore-ups are actually weirdly good in versus aggro decks, just because they let you untap your Ledger Shredder or whatever, which is ideally like a 2-4 or, 3-5 by that point, and can just eat most small aggro creatures. Extremely simple mana base, 1 Otawara. Don't put Mirexes in this list. Do not. It is wrong to do so. We are only running 10 cards which are not a single pip. Mirex will be dead on every subsequent turn of the game. Don't put colorless lands in this deck. It will really reduce your ability to effectively play out turns. I think that more or less covers the deck. If you like the deck tech and like the video and all that, consider liking, subscribing, and etc. Helps the channel a lot, and let's get on to some actual gameplay. I like this hand quite a bit. Playing Delver out on 1 is always a little risky just because of cut down in particular, cut down and Play with Fire being probably the primary 1 mana interaction in Standard. But if it survives the turn cycle, great. We don't flip it immediately, but that's fine. If it survives the turn cycle, we get to do some stuff. So our opponents on white, they didn't do a laydown arms or whatever, like they didn't remove our Delver, so I'll keep being a little bit risky just to get the Ledger Shredder down, because I like that card advantage. Oh, Elspeth Smite. Oh, I goofed. I was lazy. We definitely should have played out the Ledger Shredder post-combat. Virtue of Loyalty? Sure. Okay. Let's do a Consider. don't especially want the timely interference, or like it's fine, but there's certainly other stuff that we can fish for. I will do the Fading Hope here so that we definitely get stuff. I guess drop Otawara, because we don't really need more lands at this point. Another Delver's alright. And yeah, just chip in with the Ledger Shredder. It can be correct to toss stuff to help the Ledger Shredder grow. However, I generally will do that more aggressively later in games. Early on, I'm just more concerned with ensuring that we're, like, drawing important or impactful cards. Our opponent is really doing nothing, huh? I'm kind of assuming that that means, woof. They have, like, a Wandering Emperor here. So, no. I'm going to keep the island in hand. Duh. Okay, they were just being patient, I guess. We'll do the Spell Pierce and hold up the Make Disappear, probably. Like, if they make a land drop, I want to be able to counter the Virtue of Loyalty. Takasia's Welcome. That happens. Okay. Flip the Delver? No, we're getting very unlucky with Delver flips this game. I will play out one island just because we don't need to be, like, super duper finicky about filtering away every single land we draw with the Ledger Shredder. So we do have the option of just slip out the backing the Delver here to protect it from the Knight. I think I will take this opportunity to make disappear that. I kind of want to slip anyway, just to trigger Ledger Shredder. If we do that, we do it post-combat. Yeah, part of why I like that is it gets a Virtue of Loyalty out of circulation anyway. Like, countering it means they don't get the adventure, and it also denies the Takasia's Welcome trigger off of the Knight. Delver, come on. We could use... Yes, thank you. We finally get a Delver flip. We will Sleight of Hand pre-combat. Try to get, like, a Ledger Shredder trigger. I'll take that Spell Pierce. Yeah, I'll attack. Slipping here seems pretty good. Soul Cauldron is kind of hate for our Tellarian Terror. Did I say the right words? Yes, Tellarian Terror. I was playing a deck with Rona or whatever, which is Tellarian Obliterator. Right, is her flip side. Which is why it sounded weird or wrong to me. Anyway, we will absolutely Spell Pierce this. Yep, you love to see it. That's part of how we have the big 8-0 initial or like starting win rate. Just people don't love to play things out past a certain point after a certain number of counter spells or like fizzled removal spells or whatever. Yeah, anyway, good games to the opponent. I don't actually like this opener that much because it has no creatures, which is a pretty big issue, and there are 3 lands in hand. We are on the play, and we have a Sleight of Hand we can use to fish for a creature. I'm gonna mulligan. Delver with Spell Pierce, we will bottom a land here. We really like 2 lands in an opener. You can even consider keeping 1 land on the draw. Never keep a 1 land hand on the play. It is unacceptable. But yeah. You just might have to, if you do keep a 1 land hand, on the draw, like, use some of your cantrips in order to draw a land. Yeah, so I do want to hold up the Spell Pierce here. Nezumi Informant. Okay, that is nearly irrelevant. We don't need lands. We get land anyway. Well, maybe that will help our Delver flip. Chuck a land. Decline. Play out the Otter. I think I want to hold up the Spell Pierce. It's awkward here. Because we don't get to apply pressure with the Otter. But I do really want to be able to fizzle removal specifically. If they're doing like some dumb mind rot effect or something. Oh, Harmonics. Sure. Lord Skitter. Okay, so we're dealing with rats. No blocks. The Toxic on Harmonics can be relevant. Ooh, boy, we're not having much luck with this stuff today, huh? So, we can fish for a land. I don't know if I love doing that here. I'm going to go shields down and no pressure, which I don't like. We're lining up into rats surprisingly poorly, which is, odd to me. Or, like, Nezumi's Informant, weirdly, is actually very effective at shrinking down our already tight resources, or like ooh, that's good and helpful. Reveal. Yes, thank you. So, yeah, discard and similar effects can shrink down our resources in a way that can be rough. Sleep Cursed Fairy in the list just for, like, creature count reasons, basically. I think we only have one, and it's, you know, very efficient stats. So, consider this makes the otters big. We will drop a... I don't even know if we want the Spell Pierce that much here, honestly. It's probably fine, drop, or tuck that. Ooh, okay. Bing bong. Really didn't want to trade an Otter for a Nezumi Informant, but I will take trading for Harmonics, Lord Skitter, like they're actually important 3 drops. So we take 4 poison here, which I think is more relevant than the actual combat damage. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Go for the throat. Unfortunately, I was gonna say unfortunately, we can't hard counter this. I think this is worth soft countering. Just because they've shown us a lot of like 2 and 3 mana rats. So if they want this to resolve, they do have to commit to not further developing the board, which is something. Very much a judgment call spot there, like, I'm not utterly convinced that that's correct, but who knows. Elusive Otter. If we can just get like a cantrip here, that would be very nice. Very cool and good. No dice. Get another legal eagle down. Don't really like attacking with the otters, like losing an otter to Lord Skitter kind of for free there. 2 Ledger Shredders. Oh, we lose 1. Or like we lose the 1 from hand. But yeah, the 2 Ledger Shredders mean that if they double spell here for anything other than removal, we get to connive twice and potentially grow our Ledger Shredders, which is neat. Does seem like, yeah, they do have a go for the throw, but we get to connive twice anyway. Okay, big one dies, but we can block one of the 3 power and toughness rats, which is cool and good. Would love to get lucky with our cantrips here. That would be very helpful. Yeah, I'm just gonna block the Nezumi Informant, because if they have, they might have like a play with fire or something. It's a lower risk block, and I think, ooh, okay, come on. Give me something good. Not more land, please. Ooh-wee. Come on, come on. Another... Okay, I'll take it. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Yes, sorry, if I should maybe talk through that in case you're not super aware of Elusive Otter's text. View the battlefield. Creatures with power less than Elusive Otter's power can't block it. So that's why I was so excited about fishing for cantrips. We get the otters up to 4 power, that means nothing they have can block them, and we get to swing in for 10 damage total, killing the opponent there. Yay! Good games to the opponent. Sure. We have a spell pierce, so I have to be responsible and to actually hold up mana. Whee! Yeah, sure. Bird! Bird! Canra, spell, spear. Tempo, gameplay. I'll take a Delver, I think. Play out a thing? Sure. Sleight of hand. Do this. Connive counter. Put otter into hand. That might not be a correct connive, or like super correct connive. Maybe we're supposed to toss the lands and try to play higher efficiency. Kind of just assuming we'll be able to drop lands moving forward. Love to see it. Buy Sleep Cursed Fairy. Is that true? I think that's true versus mono red. No blocks. Gimme that flip. Hey! Love building a deck properly. So we can fire off 2 spells here, get the Ledger Shredder Connive. I don't think that beats holding up the Make Disappear, even if... even if they know it's coming. Oh, sure, I like that play from them. I was not remotely thinking about that. I'll take a slip, actually. I guess we can take a hit. We slip our otter. Because that gives us Ledger Shredder Connive and gets a counter on the otter, and we can drop the Make Disappear. And have a thing that lets us hit them for a bunch next turn, ideally. We bird, we do this. 7, 8, this is fine, I'm thinking too hard. Bonk bonk. Goodbye, sweet otter and other bird. I love all the triggers there. Yeah, we hit them for a bunch. Right, terror. Delver, then we otter. No, we do really want to Delver on 1, even though it's a little bit slower. Just cause we need to maximize the chances to flip. Meow, 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 meow. I put Sleep Cursed Fairy in this deck. I put one of them in this deck, because that's how the card counts worked out. Okay, that makes sense. Just because it's very efficient stats and stuff, and I probably felt I needed more creatures. Works in the overall game plan, even though it's not, like, super exciting for this list. Okay. Decline. Otter. Bird. Delver chips in for 1. Just getting stuff online to tick up or down or see spell casts and stuff, especially versus a mono green opponent. Counter on that's actually a little annoying. But yes, anyway, reveal. Land, will they do the block for no reason? Or like, yeah, I'm pretty happy trying to eat the thing here. Consider. Given that we have the terror in hand, I like putting that into graveyard. You get -1/-0 for another spellcast and draw. Lots of timely interferences. I think we keep going for this. Or like just keep doing this. The timelies can be clunky. 2 terrors in hand is pretty good. Trundling in for 6 in the air. We have Otter, we can land at least 1 terror next turn. They have no creatures incoming. Okay. Did I say 6 in the air? The fairy still isn't untapping, of course. Do. Don't worry about it. Land. Land. I would love to play out a terror and hold up a shore up. Yeah, okay, we'll just play out a terror then. They haven't shown themselves to be super interactive, so I think this is pretty fun. Gruff triplets. Well. What have we here? Power less than elusive otters. What particular wording that is. So. The otters have evasion that can punch through the gruff triplets. And shore up helps ensure that we can actually get their power high enough to punch through the gruff triplets. The terror is an okay blocker. They can flip the invasion pretty trivially. We also have 2 flyers that kill them next turn in the air anyway, so we're just kind of being safe. Roaring Earth Awaken the Woods goes burr. I mean, that's fun. That does not save them here, but it's fun. Hit me. Opponent swings for 13 and... oh, they just explode for it. If the timely interferences were like considers and sleights, I would probably consider keeping this hand. As is on the play with a bunch of things that require them to be playing creatures, I don't think it's safe or good. We can it's either drop a land or drop a spell pierce. Going to go with land there just because we work pretty efficiently on 2 mana. Or like we only need 2 mana. Reveal, woo! You love to see it. Honk honk. Time for Delver things to happen. Do I care about this? I guess the better thing is, I don't think we do, but we have Spell Pierce Consider here, and then we can hold up the better, or like broader counter spells for future turns. Timely is mid, or like we would just be casting Timely to get to other stuff, so yeah, helps reduce the cost on our terror. I will just do this to get spells in there for the terror, I think. Well, maybe that's incorrect. Ooh. Land drops. In this economy? 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 2. This might be incorrect. Flawless. It was very correct. Yep. It was very correct to hold up that counterspell. I just don't like going shields down for that turn when we do have the counterspell in hand, and Gruul is the type of deck that really wants to get to 3, 4, 5 mana for big chunkums. This hand works. It's a good stream drink too, probably, or like all the chia seeds are 100 calories or something, so it's like kind of food. Rip, no flip. I think we do the Shredder this turn actually, because we can double elusive otter next turn to get a connive. And something like that. Mono white soldiers. Yay, we get a connive for free. Do we drop sleight? We can drop sleight. Should we drop sleight? Maybe. Sleight helps make the terror cheaper. We can get bird down here. I'm concerned this is slow, but I think I like it. Ledger Shredder can block Recruitment Officer and Skrelvin stuff anyway, like the untapped one. Benny Goodman. Oh, Convoke. I mean, that makes me feel good about getting another Shredder down, because if they're playing out like cheap creatures and stuff. Ooh, we're having a hard time with our flippies. Definitely low rolling on the Delver. I guess we just do this. Very, very clunky draws, which is unfortunate. Just as I spent like 4 minutes talking about how cool and consistent our draws are. I think just keeping one Ledger Shredder back as a blocker helps discourage, what, 4 damage or so? Whereas pushing 1 damage in that situation, not super critical. I guess they can play out the Human Lord here, which is something, but... Might need to start filtering away the terrors with connives. Or like that would help us push a bit more damage. Thalia. Interesting. We take 4. Yeah, I guess this happens. Or I guess we don't do the thing, because... trading 2 creatures for the Hopeful Initiate is not good. Delver flip finally? Yes. Thank you, deck. Finally deciding to work. Give me land. We weirdly want land now. Okay. Consider, I guess, given that we have the terrors. Once again, I think just having the 1/3 back on blocks is helpful. Not like critical, but helpful. Is that true? I said that and then it's just like, they have the human lords that they probably play this turn. Oh, this is slow at least. Although we definitely are getting to the point where they play like a human lord and hit us for 15, so that part of things is less ideal. No blocks. 9. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, do love to see them spending time at Rune Card advantage. Oh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Draw. No. Pain. Ugh. Maybe you should have kept one of the lands. I think it's correct. I think I made a semi-big mistake this game not dropping one of the terrors. Also, we did low roll as far as Delver flips go. I guess we can just drop other Delver. Yeah, sorry. Bing bang. 4 things back on block. We got the Sleep Cursed Fairy. I think this is okay to just attack with 2. Because if we attack with those 2 again, and we, like, all signs point to that being a thing we can do, we kill them. So we have 4 blockers to work with, which can block out the 2 Knight Errants, Large, Hopeful Initiate, and an Athalia, or Recruitment Officer. Yeah. Hey! Sorry. They were doing the math faster than me, I think. Because I am, like, talking to chat and things. Or I talked through the blocks, so they push 4 damage. And yeah, if they don't have more stuff to... Yep, okay. That makes sense. Good games to that opponent. I'm going to end the video there. I only played 2 games today, aside from the initial stream games that I'll be using in this video, just because of time pressures and stuff. But yeah, we do end today 10-0 with this list, which... fun. Thumbs up. Sorry if you, some people get mad when I don't include losses, or like they like to see at least some losses. I will usually or often fish to get a loss on camera if I don't have any. But yeah, I just don't have the time for that today, and hey, it's fun to live in a world where this is a ridiculous broken deck, even though across a lot more games it would probably balance down to like 60 whatever % win rate. It's felt very solid just based off of the, 10 games that we've gotten, or that I've gotten on it. But yeah, anyway, thank you again for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching the video, and an extra big thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members that help make these videos possible. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.